Hi there. It's Josie coming on live for my weekly training in Women Who Lead with Heart. And tonight's topic is why do we drive ourselves so hard? Is this you? Are you the gal that's out there slaying your to-do list, striving and achieving, grinding it out, making it happen, making people quite impressed, feeling accomplished, but really feeling like you have nothing left for yourself by the end of the day? Or do you suspect that you're on a long-term burnout path where maybe you won't really be able to work like this anymore and it's not so much fun? I'm here to help you unwind this tendency that may have started out as a real positive trait, the successful trait of a high achiever, but somehow has gone a little bit awry. All right, if you're joining me live, give me a wave, give me a hello. If you're joining me on replay, give me a hashtag replay. Always good to know who's out there. Let's dig in. Why is it that we push ourselves so hard? What is it about striving and achieving and improving ourselves? Well, most of us actually can easily know the reason why. External validation matters. We like it when people like us. We hate it when people criticize us. We want to do well. We want to achieve. We want to make good. We want to make other people happy. It makes us feel happy when we know that we're doing something right. It's sort of a natural human tendency, especially one for a high achiever. And I just want to take a minute to sort of like wind back the clock and see when this all started. If you're anything like me, and I bet you are, your achievement strategy started young. You realized how to get the gold star, how to get to the head of the class, that prestige and attention mattered and it felt good, that you wanted praise, that you wanted to please others, that you wanted the award. You wanted the pat on the back, you wanted the A, you wanted the recognition. And that makes sense. That helps us get this positive feedback loop where we realize when we do well, we get something good and it pays itself forward. It leads to forward movement, high achievement and excellence, positive attention, success in school and in work, and there's a lot to be said for it. So I'm not selling out, striving to achieve. What I'm calling out is that can become a distortion when it's out of balance. So there are a couple of reasons why we may have gotten to this place. If we're feeling like we're almost on overdrive autopilot, where we're always doing, always accomplishing, always slaying it, always doing, always multitasking, can never stop, are sort of like spinning all the time, it's become a habit and it's become almost part of our identity. We are the girl who gets things done. We are the girl who gets promoted, who progresses, who rises up. And there becomes even a little bit of an addiction in here to some brain chemistry that's really powerful. There are two hormones at play with high achievers. One is dopamine. It's that goal achievement hormone. When we complete a task, when we finish something on our to-do list, when a project is complete, there is a little hit biochemically of something that feels like, I did it, and that feels good. There's another neurotransmitter known as serotonin that is firing when we feel like we get respect or admiration or when we receive preferential treatment. And these two neurotransmitters, these powerful hormones, can be developed by our behavior, and we can get sort of addicted to the positive affirmation and the boost hormonally that we get when we're in the zone of achievement. So there's nothing wrong with this except if we start to get into overdrive, if we find ourselves scraping up energy until we come up empty, if we feel like we're racing all the time until we're running on fumes, if we feel like we're starting to sell out things that used to give us fulfillment, like friends, time with family, hobbies, fun things, and if we start to increase our self-soothing behavior, Self-soothing behavior is the things that help us just come off that roller coaster ride, that spin cycle of always doing and whirling. And it's things that calm us down, like drinking, overeating, or staying up too late to try to unwind, or using sleep aids more often than not because we can't stay asleep. These are ways that we know that our positive achievement strategy is starting to distort and fold into a burnout plan. And you might feel stuck, like you don't know why you are this way. I work with a couple of women whom I coach who say, I don't even know why I'm like this. It's crazy. Like they almost can't stop adding things to their to-do list. Like, what would be so wrong with actually getting to the bottom of your list and having everything be done? It almost feels like it's impossible, right? We can't allow it. So listen to yourself and understand if you're starting to fall into this, well, I have to, I can't lay off the gas. I'm almost done. As soon as I finish this, I'll be able to go on vacation. Or, once we get through this phase, then we'll be able to lean into something else. Or we just have to, get through this period until we can staff up. Notice if you're saying that more often than not, regardless of the circumstances changing, and realize there is no finish line, that you probably are never going to get there where you can all of a sudden feel at ease. Being at ease is not something that's externally given. You know that because you would have felt that by now. All the slaying, all the to-doing, all the achieving, all of the praise, all of the promotions, all of the positive affirmation. If you could finally have gotten there, you would have been there given all your effort. But you're finding yourself on this non-stop loop that is a never-ending path, and that's what I want to talk about tonight. All right, ladies, it means that when you do good at something, it means that we feel like we are good or we're being good. That if we're increasing value at work, if we're landing more clients or we're getting more projects done or we're accomplishing something that's profitable, that we are actually increasing our personal value, that we are worthy. It's when the thrill of the chase becomes just the thrill until it's not, until we know something is off. So what I want to say is there's probably a time in your career where you do trade time for energy. There's a period of time when we're younger where we don't really have any capital, so we do actually give a lot of ourselves to prove ourselves. But if you're a woman of a certain age and if you've progressed to a certain level in your career, it is time to reformat your identity. You don't need to be the one that does everything all the time. In fact, that's a mistake. If everything's reliant upon you and you continue these strategies that maybe you built when you were younger and new in your career and establishing your professional identity and your reputation, if you continue those patterns, you're creating dependence on yourself and you are removing the possibility of having to grow the next generation or to level up to the next rung in your career, which is to be an ambassador, to be a mentor, to be a director, literally, to be the person that orchestrates everyone else and shares wisdom and gets out of the weeds of doing and helps lead others with vision and with experience and with guidance and coaching. I like to say that it's this part of your career when you do less and you talk more. You meet with others, you get everybody else lined up, you explain the vision and listen to people giving feedback about what they think the path is to get there and give them feedback about it. You're growing others, you're leveling up, you're becoming an ambassador, you're mentoring junior people, you're becoming a thought leader. I'm telling you, thought leaders don't staple. Thought leaders don't collate all the papers. Thought leaders don't make all the calls. Thought leaders need to have time and bandwidth and space of their own mental capacity to be able to articulate and inspire people that need to come on board with the vision. It's allowing you to have agency and leverage over a wide group of people and not just dependent on your own work product. Does this make sense for you? Does this make sense? Do you see the wisdom in it? Do you see how you could actually become a more at ease type of leader that's not scurrying and hurrying all the time, that's not dashing and feeling fretful and having an overwhelming to-do list? Maybe you're saying, I want that, but how do I get it? And this is the part, ladies, where we might have to actually have a phone call. We might actually have to talk. I might need to unpack. I might need to get under your hood and see what thoughts have you addicted to this way of being. In what way is your belief system tied to you being the doer, not the visionary? And how can you slowly start to morph into this more senior ambassadorial level of yourself that might trigger some feelings of risk, like who am I if I'm not the woman that does everything? It might trigger this habit of you needing to do and feeling uncomfortable if you're not busy all the time. But if we navigate this path and deal with the discomfort of finding a new way of being you at work, this higher level you, think of the mastery that will come with that feeling, the ease and the calm that is attendant with somebody who's ready to put down the pencil and pick up the big picture view. It's truly the rewarding stage in your career, and you've worked so hard that you deserve to be here. Not feel like you have to do it all, and not feel like influencing others isn't really doing anything. It becomes the most important work that we can do. Okay, so if you're tuning in to me as I'm giving this speech, it means that in a week's time, I'm doing a free workshop called Create More Confidence that starts us on this path of knowing our strengths, loving them, understanding how to manage ourselves so that we then can level up to a new level of confidence and competence in our career, to operate from a more calm, masterful, self-assured place. If this is sometime distant in the future that you're watching this, go to www.joeleader.com. That's my name, JOLEADER.com, and see if I have an upcoming workshop. Or just reach out to see if it's time for coaching for you. If you feel like you want to find this new level of self-belief that could have you not tormented with the doing and the scurrying and the hurrying, without fretting, without always chasing that external validation, but you just need help with the how, that's what I'm here for. My exercises and my proven framework can take you on a path from where you are, which is stressed, feeling a lack of confidence, not feeling self-assured, not having your own validation internally given, but externally validated, to the place where you feel calm and centered and sure of your value, ready to take on what's next from a calm place of your boundaries being set well, knowing your values, only chasing your own fulfillment, and being a beacon and a leader that others will follow. It's a beautiful journey. Many of you are already on it if you're in my group. But if you haven't started this path, I welcome you to reach out to get started today. In 6 months' time, you could feel like a whole different version of you, an easier, calmer, more self-assured, peaceful, and free version of you. Look me up at joeleader.com and come on and join me. That's what I've got for you tonight. Go well.